So Capricorn, we have mastery for you. You need to, in June, you need to continue working on whatever you're working on mastering your craft. Because even at the back of this deck, this also shows, even with the Three of Coins, this also shows still shows a mastery. Like you're mastering something. The difference between these two is that this is in regards to just like repeatedly making a product, because he's essentially making the same thing, while this is an actual like you're accumulating a mastery of something in order to finalize your skills into an actual masterpiece. So I'm just getting an image of Michelangelo because it is a statue, and it reminds me of Michelangelo because essentially Michelangelo was an artist in regards to pen and paper, or pencil and paper, or paintbrush and paper, but he was obviously a master in sculpture and in being able to create the human body in stone, and that takes a lot of mastery in being able to have that illusion of being able to create flesh from stone. Different coins, but it still showcases like a mastery. For June, Capricorn, this is about being able to master something repeatedly, or even with this deck, this is about continuously repeating something until you're able to completely master it. And having, because this is the back of the deck, and having that repetition of mastering something is actually going to lead you to a masterpiece, to being able to accumulate that knowledge of having to, even though it's gruesome, and it might, well, I mean, you're Capricorn, so, but in most cases, depending on your chart or your own personality, in most cases, the aspect of continuously having to create the same thing over and over and over and over again can be really frustrating for the human spirit, because as the human spirit, as a human soul, as a human ego, we want to see progression. And oftentimes people give up, not saying that's for you, Capricorn. I'm just talking about the human ego and in respect to human beings in general. Oftentimes, if we don't see progression in our skills, we often give up, and the back of the deck showcases that to continue persisting in order to get to the master, in order to become the master, there's going to have to be a repetition. I feel like if you're at a point in your life right now where you're annoyed, you're frustrated because you've been doing the same thing over and over again, and I heard like the saying that goes like, if you do the same thing over and like if you do the same thing, it's not going to give you, like, if something doesn't give you a result that you want, then do it differently. But this isn't the case, because this is about a mastery and continuously repeating a process of something, and that if you're not seeing results, then it means going back to the drawing board of continuously making the same coin over and over again in order to make each coin better than the last one. And that is how you are going to, I mean, this doesn't have to be artistry, doesn't have to be like forgery, doesn't have to be craftsmanship. It can be literally anything. It can be intellectual, it can be in regards to your job, it can be in regards to creating a product, a service. But it is repeating the same thing over and over again, because this card, in traditional tarot, it's about mastering the process. This card essentially is like the student, repetition, repeating. This card also is a motivation, like continuously do what you're doing, because it's going to, there is going to be an abundance at the end of the road. Like continue to forge, continue to create, continue to generate You have to be mindful though. You have to be mindful though in your craft, because if you're just creating just to create and you're not really focusing on your craft and how you can be better, like you see how each design is different but the coin itself, so it's about like if you need to make the detail of each product different but make it so that to keep the human mind focused on your goal ahead. And that might not be a problem where you can, depending on how you work and your work ethic. You might be a person that you are aligned when you have work that is repetitive, and that might be the card for you in regards to like you enjoy repetitive work because you're able to focus, because you're able to just the task of just creating something and turning something actually gives you joy and enlightenment and a cultivation of creation. And this can also be like focusing on being able to focus on your project without interruptions, and just like literally just that focus. Maybe this is what it is, it's that focus and not being swayed and focusing on improving your craft or putting out that products or putting out that service, putting out that gold. So we have the Ace of Vessels. Okay, so the Ace of Vessels is about your major intuition and enlightenment. This month will come to you. This ace, specifically in this card, exalts the big potential in you for June 2024. So this is a good time, Capricorn, to improve your intuition based on your internal balance, which can be about like focusing on your work. So this could be a time that, like, in most cases, I wouldn't say this to other individuals, but like with earth signs, especially with Capricorn, which is associated with Saturn. So if you have even Saturn and Capricorn, this could be like you can gain your intuition when you're focused on a task. When we're focused on a task, our mind isn't able to think. And so like that's how you could actually tap into your intuition and get certain enlightenment. You're focused on creating something because your brain is just your brain kind of numbs itself, and you're able to gain new insights, new enlightenments through your work. So this could be actually like focusing on your work actually will bring you closer to your spiritual enlightenment, to your higher self, or finding work that it does provide you, or aiding something repeatedly that's just like you're not really having to think about it. And then that process actually cultivates an enlightenment, that connection to your higher realm, to your crown chakra, where you're able to receive new information. We'll be able to connect to your inner self and discover the light of your inner God, Capricorn. Because when the Ace of Vessel appears for you, it is actually saying you have the gift in you. It is ready to be unlocked. So the way you choose to use it, this card, this Ace of Vessels, will help you find your purpose in life. And I think this goes so beautifully with this card, because this is about like finding your purpose in life in your work. Not to say that your work or your hard work ethic is the only way that you can find your purpose in life, because I know with Capricorn, a lot of people, it's like, oh, you're very hard work ethic, or you're very like focused on your job and making money. And I feel like anytime anyone talks about Capricorn, they're talking about like Capricorn is very like studious and very focused on their jobs, but that's the talent of Capricorn. You will gain that purpose in life in your work, or it's to find a job that provides you that purpose in life, where you're able to kind of like repeat it over and over again, because it gives you that fulfillment. It feeds you. That work feeds you, the Ace of Vessels. But like with this card, the vessel that is sealed to the world, you too still need to preserve your light. Card is symbolizing a good omen in the spiritual sphere, which is giving you strength to pursue what you are looking for this month. So it is through finding work that ignites you, that puts you in that realm of focus and turning out a product. And it's not about being a machine, but it's that when our body is focused, our ego mind kind of disappears, and it's able to provide that inner self to come through, where you will find your purpose in your work. So Eight of Wands is often about movement. So Eight of Wands in traditional tarot is often about movement. And the fact that this has the eye, the all-seeing eye. So that with the Ace of Vessels, this is your intuition coming through. So that when you are aligned with what sparks you, what ignites you, what gives you fulfillment, the Ace of Vessels, then that creates movement. So the Eight of Wands, this is about dynamism, enthusiasm, and the freedom to grow. This is a card of progressive action and how fast you are approaching your goals. Often this card is described as rapid development and growing, affirming the most active attributes of the fire that dominates this suit. In this card, the wood sticks are growing leaves as the good sign of progress, and they seem to culminate in a point in the sky. The eye among the clouds assumes the meaning of clarity of thought, as well as guidance and awareness in that fast movement. Capricorn, you know exactly what you want, and you manifest it into your actions and working in the right direction. The Six of Coins is a give and take. This showcases that your focus on creating more and focusing on not just being a machine, but what actually fulfills you to your purpose. This is about finding work that connects you to your higher self, to your higher realm, to a spiritual sense. And then you're able to accumulate so much that you're able to give back. So in universal terms, abundance is created because we have a relationship with the earth. We give to the earth and the earth gives back. The earth gives us and we give back to the earth. And in the same sense, this is about relationships. This is about connections. This is about giving back. But also the Six of Pentacles is also about a balance. Like, don't give out too much. The cards associated right now don't correspond with this, but it also, the Six of Pentacles is also, because in the traditional tarot, Six of Pentacles is actually holding a like a Libra scale, which is associated with balance in the universal law of how much we take, how much we give, how much we provide to others, because you don't want to give so much of your coins to others. You are then, because it's a balance of the poor and the rich. And the donkey here is indicating to me like stubbornness. So this can be a reminder to not be stubborn in your ways, not be stubborn in your viewpoints of what abundance is, and that abundance isn't, because this card essentially is indicating like you have the opportunity to help others because you are accumulating so many coins. But I feel like this is going to be very fast movement, especially with the Eight of Wands. From these cards, it is indicating that you are, by finding work that spiritually, that aligns you to your soul